You're listening to Affected by Altitude, a Colorado Rockies podcast for and by Rockies fans on Rocky Mountain Rooftop. Thank you for joining us as we discuss all things baseball and Colorado Rockies.
Hello, everybody. Welcome here to another edition of Affected by Altitude, a Rooftop Mingle. I am your host, Skylar Timmons, here with Rocky Mountain Rooftop, and joined by a special guest, a returning special guest. I think you are the first player guest that has returned.
Perfect.
Outfielder.
I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, outfielder with the Spokane Indians. It's Jared Thomas. Jared, happy to have you back, man. I'm excited to have you.
Yeah, of course. Thank y'all for having me back. It was great. I go around the first time, so I'm excited to be back here.
Yeah, and this time we get you a little more seasoned. You got a few
right.
more games under your belt
That's
this time.
Right. That's right.
So you're out there in Spokane. How are things going? First off, congratulations on being named Organizational Player of the Month for April after a phenomenal first month of the season. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. It's been a blast out here so far. Really enjoying the being out here in High-A and having my first go at a professional season so far. So it's been fun. We've got a great locker room in here, a bunch of talent. So we've had a lot of fun so far.
Yeah, you mentioned that this is really your first full professional season. You had the brief stint after the marathon after getting drafted, complex league, some stuff, and then got a little bit in Fresno. Fortunately, dealt with an injury or two there, but you're doing good there. But what was your preparation during the offseason coming into it, fresh from the start of I'm a pro ball player this year?
Yeah, so I think the number one objective coming into this year was definitely staying healthy. Being injured isn't something that I'm a huge fan of. I love being on the field. I love doing what I love to do, which is playing baseball. So I tried to come back from that injury that I had last year in Fresno, just be 100% and then make sure my body was as prepared as it could possibly be for these 135, 140 games we were about to play. So, went into a lot in the weight room, tried to, tighten up the nutrition a little bit. And then, baseball stuff was, the easy part. So it was a lot of fun.
And I'm kind of curious about that that off season of, okay, I'm going to be playing pro ball. It's not prepping for a college season.
Hang on. I'm out here in the wilderness. There's bees flying everywhere.
Getting attacked by the bees.
Holy smokes. All right. We should be good now.
But yeah, did you feel like there's any kind of difference in the preparation with that knowledge of, okay, I'm not prepping for a college season. I'm prepping for a professional baseball season in the minors?
Yeah, I think workload was a little bit something that I focused on more this offseason. I knew that it was definitely going to be, college, you play at most probably 70, 80 games. Mm-hmm. And, you're coming into, a season where you're about to play 135. So making sure that I had as much opportunity to get work and recover at the same time. So, I wasn't putting a ton of stress on my body. Plus, coming off an injury, I wanted to make sure that everything felt right and everything felt 100% leading into spring training and then preparing for this upcoming season for sure.
Okay, awesome. Were you able to connect with anybody that kind of helped you along, or is it just kind of the same old off-season staying in touch with the normal folks?
Yeah, so I had the opportunity to go back to the University of Texas this off-season. So, one great thing about the University of Texas is they allow all their alumni to come back that are still playing. So, I spent this off-season with Skylar Messenger was there for a while, Trey Faltini, Dylan Campbell, Zach Zubia, a couple other guys, Jack O'Dowd. So we had a really great group of guys come back to the University of Texas for the off season. And, always going back to see Tulo is, such a great person to have in your corner and somebody who can really tell you, what you're in for. So it's always going back and seeing those guys. And we still keep in touch. Luckily I have Messenger here with me, so still keeping in touch with the other guys that are playing pro ball, and then me and Tulo talk pretty frequently as well. So it's been good.
Yeah, that's good. That's cool that you have that resource and that they're guys that you've played with in college, you're teammates with them, or you're around them now in the organization.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Especially Tulo's been. I mean, he was a 14, 15-year big leaguer, and he was one of the best at that time. So being able to go back and pick his brain about what this upcoming full season is going to have for me. And then hearing from older guys that have gone through professional baseball that I've played with college with, it's easier to pick their brains as well because we have such a great relationship from playing together in college. So it's really great to have those resources, and it's always good being back home too.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tulowitzki was just inducted into the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame this year. Awesome. So awesome. Now, something I wanted to head over into is you're out there in Spokane, and I don't like to get I know how cautious hitters are and you don't want to brag on yourself too much, but what have you felt has just been working for you here at the start of the season?
Yeah, I'm really liking the way that I'm working in the cage. I feel like my routine's in a really good spot to, help me prepare for these upcoming games and just really sticking to that routine, whether it's, a great night, a not so great night, just really sticking to the plan. And we have such a great team here with Trevor Burmeister and Brady going through scouting reports and really allowing the hitters to have their best chance whenever they step on in the field. So, it's just, me going through the plan, looking for what I'm looking for, not getting outside of that plan and trying to do too much. So, it's been great so far. Hopefully we, there's a lot more in store for the rest of the year.
Yeah. And Spokane is a beautiful place to play a game and really good just organization out there.
Yeah, for sure. This place has been phenomenal, man, especially them coming off of a Northwest League championship last year. The culture here is so great. It's a winning culture. The fans expect a lot out of us, and we expect a lot out of ourselves as well. And then, playing for Robbie Cancel, that guy knows more baseball than just about anybody I've ever met. So having him as manager and, him really, grinding it through the rest of this year with us is going to be huge.
Yeah, absolutely. And doing good stuff. And the fun part is that Spokane's really becoming that hotbed for a lot of good talent coming through.
For sure. Yeah.
It comes with that championship that they had last year.
That's right. Yeah. So, being able to, watch some of those guys like Carrick and Karros and Betancourt, who had such great years last year, and them, doing what they did and winning that championship, we're trying to do the same thing here. So it's glad to see them, having a great year so far in Hartford, and, hopefully Karros gets back up there soon. But it's been really cool to have some of those guys, have success at the higher levels.
Absolutely. Now, and something I think that really helps is having a good leadoff man, and you've been doing phenomenal as the leadoff hitter this season. That. And so when it's leadoff hitting, not everybody can do it. It's kind of a tough job. And so I want to ask, what's your mentality? How do you approach leadoff hitting to be successful?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've been kind of the leadoff guy basically my entire life. You know what I mean? I think that comes from just my kind of grit. I'm the one that they look to get the kind of fire started, and I'm the guy that sets the tone for the team. So, my intent that first AB is just to get on base and help us score. We want to get out in front of the team as early as we can. And, having me in that spot, I'm trying to find a way on base, whether that's, a leadoff walk, a base hit, or even a bunt single. Like that really gets the offensive started. And then them having so much confidence in me to really get the team going, I think that just plays really well into our offense. So it's been good so far. I'm a huge advocate for hitting leadoff, so it's been good.
Yeah, that's good. And I think the thing that I really like looking at your stats thus far is the 20 walks that you've been able to draw thus far.
Yeah, it's been huge. I feel like, my freshman year of college, I did a really good job of controlling the zone. And then sophomore year last year, when I was at school, I got into some more power. And I think I really got away from, really hunting my zones. I think sometimes I felt like I could hit everything. And that's, another thing that I knew and wanted to prepare for coming into this long season is just being able to, take the walks, because that's going to help. That's going to help the team. That's going to help me. That's going to help the organization. That's going to do so much for everybody. And me being able to, find a way on base is going to be huge for scoring runs. So anything I can do to get on base is going to help us win.
Yeah. And I know, have you had the chance to connect with Charlie Blackman at all yet? Or has he made the rounds out there in Spokane yet to kind of pick his brain a little bit more about leadoff hitting?
Yeah, so I got the opportunity to meet him this past spring training, and he's a super down-to-earth dude. You can pick his brain about anything, it really feels like, and he's got such a great head on his shoulders. He played in the big leagues for, a long time, so being able to pick that guy's brain, and, he's really successful in Colorado, so anything that he can tell me that would help me throughout the course of my career is huge. So I'm excited to get together with him again.
Did you share any advice on how to grow a beard at all and get that success going?
Man, I don't think there's any help anybody can do for me in that aspect. I'm trying, but maybe a few more years and I'll get a beard.
It's all good. You can rock the mustache for now.
We're trying. Work. That's all I got.
Yeah, and I like that there's that resource, and I like that you mentioned spring training because one of the first articles I saw was you and Charlie Condon, who's working his way back from that wrist injury, but you guys were on the backfields able to face big league pitching, and I believe it was like Austin Gomber or some of those guys.
Yeah.
What was that like? That moment of okay, I'm facing a big leaguer at this moment.
Yeah, it's kind of it's exciting. Me and Charlie were definitely excited going into that, and I think that's the ultimate goal. You know what I mean? We want to face the best competition there is. So that being the big leagues, we're trying to get there as soon as possible, and so having that opportunity to go out there and face those guys really kind of gives us an idea of what it's going to be like day in and day out at the big league level. So that was a blessing for sure, being able to face that caliber of talent. So we're gonna grind it out here. We're gonna try and stay healthy, and we're gonna try and get there as soon as possible for sure.
Yeah, right on. Oh, and the fun thing is that then you get those experiences, then you can carry that into this season with the Indians. Some of them on kind of to me, can't speak today, is in that transition of as you have that experience down in low A, and this is something maybe we don't talk about much. What's kind of been the difference you've seen between that little bit in Fresno and then up into this level into High-A Spokane?
Yeah, I don't think there's as much of a noticeable difference. I do feel like, here the stuff's a little bit better, I guess. I really feel like a good example was last night. Like, I feel like you're going to get, one mistake per at bat. Maybe you get one mistake, per night. Maybe you don't get a mistake as you go up in levels. But I feel like, here you really got to really hunt what you're looking for and really not trying to expand the zone. I guess you really, these guys are too good, so being able to stick to a plan and really, really, be disciplined enough to stick with that plan throughout the course of the nights is huge here for sure.
Yeah. And so how does that planning and preparation go into? I was reading about some other articles and things you had mentioned on of just what's that preparation like day to day to get ready for games?
Yeah. So, like I said, Trevor Burmeister and Brady, our media guy, they do such a great job of getting a scouting report with us. And that's something that the Rockies changed this year in minor league ball is now we're getting video reports with, actual film of them, of their pitches. So we get their whole repertoire, through a video, and we're able to kind of visualize the night before to go into the game. So being able to see, what they're really trying to do, lefties and righties, and seeing the slot of each pitch coming out has been really huge. So, bunch of credit to those guys for putting that stuff together for us. But, that's something that me and I think a lot of other guys would advocate for has been helping and leading us to, pretty good success offensively.
Yeah. Gotta have that good intel to know your enemy.
That's right.
Now I kind of want to shift gears and a little more. They're still in the realm of relevancy, but
for sure.
I love that story with your teacher showing up there at the game, and if you could just elaborate a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, I come out of the clubhouse, I put all my stuff down, get my helmet in the cubby, put my bats in the bat rack, and then go out for stretch. And I hear my name just getting screamed. I'm from across the country, it feels like. So I didn't really expect that. So I turn around, and sure enough, there's this poster, and I recognized her immediately. I knew exactly who it was. So I thought my jaw dropped to the floor. It was the coolest. It was one of the coolest things that I've had to experience in baseball so far. So, baseball is such a small world. I know a bunch of people say that, but, something like this where, she taught me in first grade, ended up moving out to Washington a few years back, got to catch up with her a little bit. They live 30, 45 minutes down the road. And she actually saw me on the roster, I guess, or something from my mom's Facebook. I think she reposted something and, direct messaged my mom confirming that I was actually out here. And my mom was like, yeah, he's in Spokane, Washington right now playing for the Indians. And so she made a poster, came to the game. And then, I think they're now season ticket holders. So I've seen them quite a bit so far. So it's been really cool.
There you go. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And
it's been really cool.
I just love that story because it's those, like you said, it's a small world. And then just the circle of people you interact with that can still have an impact, like a first grade teacher.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that story when I saw it pop up.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
something else, as we get into a couple more random questions here, we've been doing a little bit better this go
Yeah.
around with questions as we talk to guys. But who's somebody on the team right now that you feel like maybe is maybe a little overlooked or isn't talked about enough for how they're doing this season?
Yeah. I think people are going to call me biased for saying this, but I think Skylar Messenger. I know he's a Texas guy, so I might have a little bias there, but that guy puts working like nobody else I've ever seen. That guy, day in and day out, doesn't matter the results from one night to the next. He's in there doing the same routine every single day. That guy, being able to be here with him, our brains kind of work similarly, especially coming from Tulo and how we approach the game, and we're really aggressive, and being able to pick his head about certain stuff, and luckily I'm able to room with him on the road. So I think me and him are very comfortable around each other now. But that guy, day in and day out, is grinding, and that guy was off to a really hot start. Kind of, a couple weeks ago was in a kind of a tougher stretch, but that guy's coming right back around. He's back to work, and he's feeling good. So I'm excited to see how we come together towards the end of this year. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and I'm a little biased with him too because we share the same name, and I don't think there's ever been a big leaguer named Skylar.
That's right. It'll be cool. That'll be a cool first.
But yeah, he's one. We tried to talk to him yesterday, but I think batting practice got in the way a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a really good pick. Because he's a fun one. He's under the radar type of guy.
Yeah, for sure. But he does everything right. He plays the game hard, and he gets after it. That's all you can ask of a guy.
So speaking of University of Texas, how are they looking this year, baseball wise?
Man, they're coming into this week ranked number one again. So it's good to see all those guys that I played with really just playing well. Last weekend they went into a rougher 3-game stretch with Arkansas where they dropped all 3. But they'll if I know one thing, those guys are going to get back after it, and that's credit to the whole coaching staff. I know the offense is going to get right back after it. And it's super fun to talk to some of my roommates who are still there, who hopefully we pick up this next draft. But it's been great, man. Being able to go home this past offseason and see them work and know how talented they are and know that they're going to have a good year, and then them going out and performing like they have, it's been really awesome.
Yeah. Do you get to then kind of be that extra resource for them as well? Of, hey, there's some things I'm learning, in the Rockies organization that maybe can help you guys out, some of those tips and stuff.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's another reason why alumni coming back to the university during the offseason is so huge, because you have a guy like Dylan Campbell, who was such a great outfielder at the University of Texas, played a full season last year with the Dodgers, and another guy like Trey Faltini or even Skylar Messenger, who's with the Rockies. Like, being able to pick those guys' brain as much as you possibly can to have the best understanding of what pro ball is going to look like is such a huge advantage that I think a lot of guys don't have. So being able to go back and pick everybody's brain and explain and try and help all those guys is really cool.
Yeah, that is really good. Yes, something I wanted to ask too.
Yeah.
I just had I think I just lost my train of thought, but being able to be that resource, having that community, some that I don't even know what I'm trying to say here, Jared. But what I did want to ask, out there in Spokane, what's been the just most interesting thing, or just most unnatural thing, just the weirdest thing, or been the biggest surprise to you just being out there in Spokane itself, in the area?
Man, let's see. It's not as cold as I thought it was going to be. I thought we were going to be in turtlenecks and thick sleeves for the entire season. Luckily, we're not. I think those first 2 weeks it was kind of chilly, and then right now the weather's perfect. And I'm a huge nature guy. I love seeing the Spokane River's really cool. The mountains, the trees, how green it is out here is awesome. So that's been really cool.
Yeah, I was in Oregon for about 2 years.
Yeah.
And that was my biggest thing. The difference from Colorado when I came home, it's so brown here.
Yeah, for sure. Especially when you spend, a month and a half, 2 months in Arizona and you come out here. It's a great change of scenery.
Yeah. And it's the nice time of year where it's not raining 24/7.
That's right. That's right.
All right, but Jared, thing I like to do. What have you been doing in your free time, in your spare time? How have you been relaxing? What's been your hobbies as of late?
Man, I'll be honest. When we're home, I think me and a lot of other guys have been gaming. We'll come here. We'll get all the stuff we need to do here at the field. Hopefully, win the game. Go back home and hop right on the game. That's our way of kind of hanging out without hanging out. I guess everybody's at their own little setup. We got microphones. We got we got our own console. So that's been really fun getting together with a bunch of group of guys and playing video games.
What have you guys been playing?
Dude, it's strictly Rainbow Six Siege right now. That's what we've been grinding.
There you go. I haven't played that one, but I'm awful at first person shooters online. Yeah. I'm awful.
Yeah, it's a hard game to get into, but having a bunch of guys play it, nobody's really great. So it's a lot of fun.
If you had to pick somebody, who is the best?
Oh, goodness gracious. I'd say it's probably a 3-way tie between. I'm not going to throw myself in there.
You can if you want.
I'm going to go Austin Becker, who just got called up from Fresno here recently. That guy's really good at video games. McCade Brown and Stu Fleslin. Those are the three guys that'll get after you on the video games.
Yeah, guys. It's good to have those guys on your team.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure.
Here's one that we've been asking everybody, trying to keep track of people. But if you're stranded in the desert or you're off stranded in the wilderness, desert island, whatever, who's the one teammate, past, present, whoever, that you want there with you? Who's going to help you the best if you're stranded out in the wilderness?
Oh, goodness. I'm going Skylar Messenger, or I'm going to go my college roommate, Rylan Galvan, or I'm going to go in like my best friend growing up, Walker Polk. If I could pick one of those three guys, we could take over a country. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's perfect.
That's real stuff right there.
Yeah, that's what you need. You're staring out in the wilderness.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Well, that's awesome. Well, Jared, we won't hold you up here too much longer. Appreciate you joining us, spending the time out there next to the fence and everything.
Of course.
Getting attacked by bees.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you having me, man. It's always great to be back on and I guess really kind of get the inside of everything that's going on here. So it's been good. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, we love watching it, love following you, and we look forward to seeing what else you do this season.
Perfect.
And where you end up by the end of the season. It'll be fun stuff. So best of luck with everything.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
And this has been Jared Thomas here with the Spokane Indians here on Rooftop Mingle with Rocky Mountain Rooftop. Until next time, I'm Skylar Timmons. This has been Affected by Altitude. This has been Affected by Altitude, a Colorado Rockies podcast with Rocky Mountain Rooftop, a proud affiliate of the Fans First Sports Network. Catch new episodes every Monday on wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Be sure to follow us on YouTube as well for video versions of the show.